Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Aave and ask the question, would I buy or should you buy, not financial advice, in the bear market? This is installment 39 of 1001. You can see a link to the entire playlist in the description of this video. And if you like this content, smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section. So let's go ahead and ask the question, would I buy Aave in the bear market? And my answer is simply this: I have no problem buying Aave. It is a safe cryptocurrency to buy. Borrowing and lending are always going to exist, despite recent issues with DeFi, with Celsius, with, oh my God, I can go on, Aave, I have a great deal of confidence in Aave that it has its niche and it will exist within that niche. And why not, given that regard? Now, I don't think Aave is going to provide the most amazing returns possible in the next cycle, but I would expect it to grow as cryptocurrencies, as the blockchain grows in influence. And we are so early in crypto and in blockchain and in DeFi that this is just a simple yes. But there are some things that we need to look at with Aave. And first of all, let's take a look at the chart. And you can see that Aave had quite a spike here, peaked, between $600 and $700, and went down over 90% from its peak to its bottom. So there would have been a great time to have bought. It is almost doubled since that bottom date in June 15th at, $56.32. It actually got a little bit lower than that. As of the day that I'm making this video, it's $110.60. And so given the fact that it's doubled in the span of 2 months, I would say, as of the date of this video, perhaps hold off a little bit, just wait and see. But it checks off one thing in that regard, that it has gone down a fairly significant amount. And again, if I'm looking for a cryptocurrency that I think is going to put in a higher high next cycle, if I have a lot of confidence that it's going to put in a higher high next cycle, then very much so I want to get in on that cryptocurrency at the lowest possible. I want that price to go down as much as possible. So Aave certainly checks off the boxes in that regard. Now, as far as Aave is concerned, this is one that I would expect slow growth over time and not these kind of wild swings that we would expect from my constant example is Cardano, which lost 98 or 99% from its peak in 2018 to its bear market bottom, then put in a higher high, and you saw at least a 150x from its bear market bottom to its peak. I'm just not expecting that from Aave. If $65 or so $56.32 was the bottom or around the bottom, I am not expecting a 150x for Aave from that bottom to its next peak. But given there are a few things that are positive signs for me and things that I would say, yeah, this gives me hope that this is going to put in a higher high next cycle. And it's quite simply, one big thing that I'm looking at is it's not too inflationary. So 87% of Aave's supply is already in existence. They have a max supply, total supply of 16 million Aave. It's similar to Bitcoin. Their inflation is similar to Bitcoin, to a quant or a VXV, something like that, with a fixed supply that most of that supply is already circulating. That's a good sign. Market cap versus fully diluted market cap. Volume's decent. It's okay. There's certainly other cryptos that I've reviewed recently that have lower volume that would have me concerned. Volume for Aave, 195 million at this point. When what can I say? Just interest in crypto is pretty low. I'd say that's good enough volume that I wouldn't be too concerned of this cryptocurrency dying. Aave started out as ETHLend in 2017. In the peak of that euphoria phase, they changed to Aave, which is a simple word. It means ghost. And that's a simple way of understanding. It's if you want to borrow money through Aave, there's lots of platforms that you can borrow money on. You can see Ethereum, Avalanche, Optimism, Polygon, Arbitrum, Aave Arc. There's some other ones here, Phantom, not FTX, and some other ones, Harmony One, and all that. So if you want to borrow funds, there's plenty of options to do so, plenty of platforms to do it through. And I just, this is the reason why it's called Ghost. Give me a second here. The reason why it's called Ghost is, you don't know who's supplying the assets that you're borrowing. If you were to supply ETH and borrow DAI or BUSD, you don't know who you're borrowing the BUSD from, and it could be a large grouping of people. And so I like that. In that regard, it may seem weird, but what I'm about to say, but the collateral that you supply has to be greater than the amount that you borrow. So what's the appeal with that? And well, let me say this. A great deal of my future when it comes to investing is going to involve borrowing funds and then paying that back because of the fact that that's tax free. And that is how rich people, I'm not saying I'm not rich, right now. Not saying that, but that's how rich people operate. They borrow. And what an easy way to do so, instead of going to a bank and submitting all this sorts of documentation, credit check, all that. What a simple way to do so if you were to supply $100,000 worth of Ethereum and borrow $80,000 worth of BUSD instead of selling your Ethereum and paying taxes on it. Instead of doing that, you supply this on Aave, you get $80,000 worth of BUSD. You use that BUSD to put as a down payment on a rental property or something, and then you pay that back over time. Here's the cool thing about Aave: there is no set time that you have to pay that money back. And then if your ETH gets liquidated, there is a liquidation price, then you keep the $80,000, and that's that. If the price of ETH goes down, you keep the $80,000, that's that. That seems fine to me. And so there's lots of appeal with this, is all I'm saying. Aave has a future. It's not a cryptocurrency that I think is going to die anytime soon. If it did die, it would die because of a more attractive competitor, not because of just it becoming antiquated or it just dying because it's not worth anything. The Aave token gives you governance to determine how Aave functions. Oh yeah, on this website we see ETH lend. And so all that to say, this is a pretty simple yes for me. There's nothing too crazy that I would say or too alarming, which means that maybe you're bored listening to me talking about this. Aave is Aave. And this is the last thing that I'll say. One thing that I'm looking forward to in buying in the bear market is putting a decent amount in cryptocurrencies that we don't know the finished product yet. For most intents and purposes, we know what Aave is, which is fantastic. That's great. But I think there's going to be a lot more growth for cryptocurrency projects that are not yet finished products. But I would have no problem putting money into Aave, and it's probably not a bad idea in one regard, in the regard that it's safe. Because let's say some kind of black swan event happens, or crazy things happen, you're not going to suffer too much with Aave in comparison to, I don't know, like a Dogecoin or something. But I will be backing the truck up on Doge. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I would love to hear your thoughts. Will you be buying Aave in the bear market? If you like this content, again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and go ahead and watch the other videos in this series if you have not. But yeah, I will see you in another video. Peace.